Chris Giruzzi is in studio right now. Chris is running for Utica City Court Judge. And you're the first to throw your hat into the ring. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Thanks for having me.
So you've been in practice for, what, almost 20 years?
Almost 20 years, yes.
And tell us, first of all, so that people understand, as a city court judge, your role is, or would be?
The role is to hear criminal, civil, traffic, and landlord and tenant cases.
And those can become pretty heated.
Oh, absolutely.
Pretty busy caseload, by the way, in Utica.
There's a giant caseload down there. Traffic is big. Criminal law is huge. Criminal cases, there's a ton of them. And I spent most of my career down in Utica City Court, so I know it pretty well.
You're also town justice in Frankfort, right?
I was town justice in Frankfort, and that was from 2007 to 2012.
All right, so currently John Belzano is the city court judge. He's going to be leaving the position at the end of the year.
Yes, he is. Yes.
And what experience? I mean, what makes you? I mean, running for judge is difficult. Whenever we talk to someone, because it's not like you can. Not that you even would come out and talk about potential opponents or anything like that. It's not really apropos for a judge. But what would make you different? Why should people say you should be the next city court judge?
Well, I think the difference is that I've spent my entire career down in Utica City Court. That court, I believe, really requires a well-rounded judge who's done the areas of law that a city court judge hears. And those are the ones I mentioned, criminal law, civil, landlord-tenant. I've done them all. Civil. I've been on both sides of civil cases. I've been on both sides of landlord-tenant cases. And the other thing is the judicial experience that I have makes me, I think, a good candidate because I understand the role of the judge in terms of fairness and in terms of upholding, due process,
right,
and the like.
And no jury involved in this. This would be. Is there a jury involved in these cases?
There are a lot of jury trials down in Utica City Court. Now, Utica City Court is an entry-level court, and it has jurisdiction over felonies up to the felony hearing stage. In other words, there are no felonies tried down in Utica City Court.
Right.
But there are misdemeanor trials, which are often jury trials. The felonies get bumped up to county court, to the county court judges.
All right, and I would, and in those cases where there is not a jury, explain when do you see a case that would not incorporate a jury?
Well, it depends on the parties may agree to have a non-jury trial in a misdemeanor case, and that often happens. Now, traffic trials, there's a lot of traffic trials down there. Those are not jury trials.
And when we talk about the caseload, that's always something everyone this day and age it's a very busy court. Isn't it the case though that in a lot of situations you can avoid a jury trial, and that's part of the role? Would that be to at least try to bring parties together?
There are, I would say, a vast majority of the cases are plea bargained.
Right.
And the district attorney's office might make an offer if the defendant or even a criminal or a civil, not a civil, but a traffic matter. Yeah. The defendant might say, "All right, this is a good deal. I don't want to take my chances at trial," and they would go ahead and have a plea bargain.
Yeah.
And that's a vast majority of the cases.
I just recently learned something I didn't know. If you're running for judge, you can basically screen in front of you don't have to be tied to a party. You can screen in front of all the parties. And can you talk a little bit about that? Just something I didn't know about that.
Sure. The judicial positions are nonpartisan. There's no way to be an effective Democratic judge or Republican judge. Politics has nothing to do with it. It's not a policy-making position, and it's an open primary in that you don't need the party's endorsement to seek another line.
Do you have you heard there will be other candidates jumping in?
I have, to my knowledge, no one has announced except for me.
Right. We've heard some rumblings that there may be at least one other, without mentioning any names because they're not in yet. But it will be interesting to see what happens. This election will be in November, right?
The election will be in November. If there's another Democratic candidate, there'll be a primary in September.
Yeah. Have we resolved when these primaries are going to be this year?
Off the top of my head,
that's been a big issue, though, as to when we have when the primary. Remember, the last election, there was a lot of debate in the state over when primaries would be held.
I could be wrong, but because this is local, City of Utica, I think it's in September.
All right, all right, Chris Giruzzi, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you for having me.
Be a long year.
Yes,
it's not going to be a short year for you by any means. So good luck. We appreciate the time.